This is WFO Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. WFO Radio, wide freaking open. We are back on a Thursday. Get ready for a little more NHRA drag racing. I'm Joe Costello. And if you're out there on the Facebook, yeah, they should have kept the word the Facebook. YouTube, Twitter. If you're out there, we got a great show planned for you. Going to connect with Steve Torrence, the reigning and back-to-back Mellow Yellow Top Fuel World Champion. Steve's got all kinds of news, but winning in that Garlits car, like what? Winning in the Garlits car, to me, that was one of the greatest things that I've ever witnessed at the Gatornationals. And having been to now 42 straight, really 41, but I went twice this year. It's one of the most special things that I've seen. And so we'll be talking with Steve Torrence about that just minutes from now, waiting for Steve to get connected. Hopefully we will get him on there. Also, Alex Laughlin going to join us by phone as he does the internet, doesn't have the horsepower to turn the video machine, but we will connect with Alex as he gets ready for his next race. He's going to be very busy over the next 10 days or so. So we'll connect with Alex Laughlin on the show. If you're out there on Facebook or on YouTube, please connect. And we're going to get Steve Torrence just seconds from now. But first, I got to tell you about the people who make it possible, like Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, totalseal.com. Check out their brand new website, Total Seal, and samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Down there in Houston, Texas, we got Factory Showdown this weekend. If you want to start the next generation of engine builders, of crew chiefs, of machinists, samtech.edu. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, frankhawley.com. Hit him up, Gainesville, speaking of which. And, of course, Marvin Rodak from Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, actually. Marvin, roasting up that coffee, fresh per your order, hot sauces and spice rub. He is a grill meister down there in Texas. Give him a call, 817-924-6821. All right. I see the champ is down there. Champ, you ready to go? He's ready. All right, we're going to bring him on. He is the reigning and back-to-back Mellow Yellow Top Fuel World Champion, but winning in a Garlits car, that's all big, but not that big. What's up, Steve? Welcome to WFO.
Hey, good to see you, Joe. How you doing, brother?
I like the way you look there, man. You got the hat, you got the mirror, you got the awards. It's great. All right, look, I want to talk to you about what I think was one of the coolest things that I've ever seen at Gainesville Raceway, and you know I've been to a lot of them, but whatever happened at the track is secondary to some of the news that you guys put out on social media the other day. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about everything, man. Whatever you want to discuss.
Well, come on, man. Mama K is going to be Grandmama K. Baby
Yes,
Torrence
sir.
is on the way. Come on now. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. So unbelievable. And we've known about it for a little while. And we're kind of waiting to make sure that everything went well and that the baby was going to be safe and healthy. And during the blood work, they also tell you the gender. So we waited a couple days, and so there's going to be a little baby girl Torrence on the way, and we're excited.
That is so great. Congratulations, Steve. That is awesome. You've got such a good family, not just your family, but the extended family that is your team. And, bringing the next generation into the world, that is going to be great. And you're not going to get soft on us though, are you, as you become a daddy?
Man, I'm not going to say that I'm not, because I can tell you, I was praying for a little boy and to be healthy, but I got a little girl and it's healthy. So when she gets here, I may soften up a good bit.
You can always try again, Steve. Like, you'd have.
Yeah.
Right. You're an only child. So
absolutely. And it's probably a blessing in disguise, because had I had a little boy, or had we had a little boy coming out, I might not have been as inclined to have another one, but we'll get this one here and get this one going and just go from there.
I love it. So everybody is out there on Facebook saying congratulations. Janet Enders saying what's up. Michael Heiner saying congratulations. Everybody just we're getting a lot of feedback for Steve Torrence. And now thinking about it, it's been a while since we've had you on the show.
It really has.
It's been a while, but we know why. Like, you guys have, you've been through hell. Your team, going through a championship year, the COVID stuff, we all know. But what happened with Dominic, who is, as close to family as can be without being actual family? You've told us that this has had to have been very, very challenging for you, and to get a win at Gainesville, the Garlits car, we'll talk about it, but to get a win, period, has to feel great.
Yeah, absolutely. And we went to Indy there after Dom's accident. We go back there and we race, and I guess it would be Indy 3. And man, just to say difficult was an understatement. I mean, it was a struggle for every one of us there. You get back, you're in that normal setting, but it's just not normal, and everybody is just has the thoughts and the concerns and everything weighing on your mind with what's going on with Dom and being here without Dom, and just how big of an empty hole is there when he's not around. So we were able to make it through that weekend as a team, as a family, and to go to Gainesville and just to be able to have all of the stuff going on with Big Daddy, and then how awesome the car looked and the support from the fans, and Florida opening up and the races feeling more normal. It was really special for all of us. And I mean, there were so many just great things that came from that weekend. I don't know if I've ever been past the second round in Gainesville, and then to go to the final with my dad, to win the race with Swamp Rat 14, for Big to be there. Dom, there's some really positive things going on with Dom in the hospital, and it looks like everything is looking up. And to get that news before the final round, racing there, I mean, you couldn't have made a better weekend for everybody.
Wow, that's great. And you're delivering the news about Dom. Dom's a friend of mine. You've seen me. We watching Yankee games at your pit, right? And giving space is always what you want to do. But hearing you say something is like trending positive, and I heard some things about maybe a FaceTime situation that happened. Like, wow, Steve, that's such great news. Like, there's been a lot of good news packed into it. It's obviously a terrible thing, but when you were running that Nitro Ninja scheme, I put myself in your position, and I thought that had to be hard. Like, talk about wanting it too much, maybe pushing too hard with the Nitro Ninja car, and then to have the Garlits car the week after, which was a little different, right? Like, that was fun for Garlits. You were paying tribute to this legend of the sport, and I know he had given you all a tour down there, and maybe just a little less intense. To be able to deliver for Garlits and for Dominic and for all of that, man, that's pressure stuff right there, more so than a championship.
Well, and definitely two completely different scenarios with running the Ninja car and then running the Swamp Rat. And at Indy, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you're there, and it's pressure. It's, we're going to win this for Dom. We're going to do that. And you do all of this as a team. But when you get in that car, it's only you as the driver in that car, and you push harder than you ever have. I mean, it's a different situation than being in Pomona, having to win that round to win the championship. It's a completely different emotional situation that you're in, because you're doing it with your heart, and when you have that motivation and that drive, everything around you it's just a completely different array of emotions that you're going to. And I told my wife Natalie, I was like, I've been in this situation here, and I caved under pressure, and I've been in that situation again, and I overcame the pressure. And it's just another mindset that you go through in the battle of competition. And I was not proud of my driving through that Indy race and in that Ninja car. I didn't have my head in the game. I had other things that were motivating me instead of just going out and doing my job. And ultimately, when we left that weekend, I went straight up to Bob and Hogan and everyone on the team and said, "I'm sorry, guys. We lost to Leon a whole shot, and we had a great race car, and she did her job, but I didn't do mine." And so it's humbling. You just got to take it and go. And then to go to Gainesville, that's still fresh on your mind, everything with Dom, but there was some distractions away from that, and things were kind of looking a little bit better with him. And you're there with Big Daddy Don Garlits, the legend, the guy. I mean, Big told me. So we'll get sidetracked here, but
No, that's it. I want to get sidetracked. I believe me. You gave me good news. You shared good news. That's great. Let's talk fun stuff because Garlits tried to take you out of the seat. Like I saw it.
So that's where I was going. He comes up and Big can't hear. Like his hearing is terrible.
It's over.
So it's done. And so like when we were on the starting line doing the interview, you're this far from him, talking to him and saying, hey, and he's listening hard, but he comes up to me and he goes, I talked to the girl over there yesterday and she just said, I really wish I could have raced you and your time. And so Leah's telling Big that, it would have been cool to be back in that time, in that era, and race with Big and Shirley and all of them. And he looked at me and he just kind of got that typical Big smile, and he said, if it's okay with you, I'm going to let her have her wish. I'm going to go put my fire suit on. You just stay in the tow vehicle, and I'm going to tell her, you got your chance. You ready? And so, I mean, and that was what was going on back there in the back. And that was fun. And I actually don't know if that ever happened. I walked up to the starting line, but it was a fun weekend to hang out with him. And one of the coolest things, I may race for another 100 years or however long, and I may not race ever again. Who knows? But Big Daddy Don Garlits, after the race win, we're standing there, we're taking photos, and he looks at me and he goes, this is the highlight of my life. And he goes, I forgot how fun this is. And
Wow.
when you take yourself out of that situation and you're not every weekend at the racetrack and you're not doing it, it's just like this year. I mean, we're away from it so long. We appreciate being able to go back and race and do what we love to do a lot more than if you just race normal season and everything's the same. So that was a big a big just eye opener to me. And for Big to tell you that, I mean, that was a pretty big deal.
It's the biggest thing ever. And so I popped a shot I've been showing the past couple of days as you guys are getting ready for the semis. And I was trying to look at that. He's suited up. He's got the helmet. I was like, is this guy going to try to bump off Steve or what? But you could see he was just feeling the adrenaline and the emotions that he hadn't felt for years. And this is the guy that won the first Gatornationals. And I saw him win in 1986 when he won his most recent Gatornationals. And you helped him win. He won this race. He was like he won this race. Garlits' car wins the race in Gainesville, which you now endeared yourself to Floridians who love Garlits in a way that you can only understand now. Like before, you probably couldn't get it. And now you've seen what you did. It's crazy how much they love Garlits, myself included. And just a special thing, like he's 88 years old, Steve. I know he acts like he's 50, but he's 88. You gave him a win with that car. Like that's beyond special. It's something that's rare, and winning is hard. It was unlikely to begin with, and you did it.
Yeah, because we typically don't have much success at Gainesville. I don't know if it's the high water grains, the air there, but in those situations, we seem to not run well. We don't run well in Gainesville. We don't run well in Brainerd. So it was just a struggle. And that was one of the 3 tracks on the circuit that we race that I haven't won. So that was one to check off the list. And then just in the way that we did it was just surreal. And I mean, great weekend, great get happy, great motivation, great get back in the game of the championship battle. I mean, it was just so many good things that came out of it. But like you said, I didn't realize the following that Big had. I mean, it's Big Daddy, and to us it's a big deal, but as far as my generation of fans and the guys that came by, it's a big deal to everybody. And so there were people coming by taking photos of the car, posing by the car when we'd wheel it out. I mean, it was the highlight of a lot of cars. And I even heard Tony Pedregon on the coverage say that is the most gangster looking hot rod that we've seen in a while. And that's pretty dang cool, man.
No, it was. And you guys putting your family, the reason you can do it is because your family company sponsors your cars. So you can choose to take the back seat to the Garlits Swamp Rat 14 scheme. But, you don't have to do that, but you did it. And in the end, you go through Tony Schumacher, Doug Foley, who's running well, Leah, which is points implications, big time. She's running well. You guys are fighting for a championship in all of this anyway. You're trying to win your third in a row. And then your dad in the final round, which we know he would have loved to have ruined this all. Billy would love to have ruined it. He does not care. It's cool, but he wants to win.
Well, and we're running the cars a little bit differently, and we go out there, and both crew chiefs are aggressive. And typically what they do in every situation is they go out and do the best they can, and they leave it up to us. Because if you'll look back at any of the rounds that we've had, I mean, they're usually some pretty tight races that were won or lost somewhere close to the start line. So, I mean, I went 80 with a 9. I think my dad went 81-0. So we're talking a thou at the end. It was whoever left first. So it's a neat deal. I think that I still am ahead on win-loss with my dad, so I got some bragging rights. But anytime you lose, the count doesn't matter. It's whoever won gets to have the bragging rights for the longest.
That's great. Well, the longest is not going to be that long because you guys are racing again this weekend. It's going to be tough to for the glow of this one to ever recede, though. The Gatornationals is always one of the crown jewel events. Didn't happen in March. It happened in September. It was much more humid. But as a standalone event, I can tell you I've been to many, and this one stood out for all of the reasons. The increased crowd, the COVID, the returning to the place that we kind of had to get sent home from, and getting the season going again. And for you to win that race with the Garlits car. Now, what'd you do? You donated the body panels to the museum. So eventually people will be able to go and see those for those who didn't, right?
So what's going to happen with that car? We're not going to take the car that we have now out of service to put it in the museum, but all the panels, we painted that car. That car was one of the best looking bodies we've ever had. Typically all of ours are wraps, and that one was a paint. When we front half a car, we're gonna take the front half. We'll assemble it so that all the panels will go on it. We'll mock up the rest of the back of the car and roll cage and everything. So it'll be just the body panels. It won't be a complete car in there, but it'll look it'll have all the stuff. That car is going to go in the museum directly above Swamp Rat 14 with the Wally and some photos of the race, so that'll be in there from here on out.
Awesome. Hats off to you, Steve. That's great. And another reason for people to go to, Don Garlits Museum of Drag Racing, which for people who haven't been, they don't understand what a crazy collection of stuff it is. This man kept like everything from his childhood, blown up engines, crazy stuff, and amazing cars, and now the body panels from your car. The tachometer, though, like that, was there a fight in-house about the tach? Like that thing was prominent. It could have been, like what was the story? Like that was extra effort. That wasn't just paint. That was kind of engineering a new solution.
Yeah, so that was actually a real tach on there. It was non-functional because, we don't run those, but
right.
Original style tach put on the car. Had to do some fabrication to make it stay up there and to make it be secure. There's an upright underneath it to brace it, because those body panels, you see them on a typical slow-mo run. They're going everywhere. But yeah, just the attention to detail and a little extra effort. And eventually, we will put a car in there with that body. But with the way things are now, you don't just get a new car every year. You just chop the front and the back off and keep rolling with them. So as we roll a car out of service or a driver box out of service, what we'll do is we'll send a car down there. But for the time being, we'll just have the body panels up.
That's great. No, listen, I think it was great. And the history was being there. The people who made the effort to go to the race saw something that they will remember forever. And Garlits winning Gatornationals 50 years apart, 2020, 1970, jumping around like a little boy, even though he's 80. And if I could be like that without the hearing, I'll make that deal, man, because he can move. The guy will jump across the wall. He gets around. He loves racing. He wants to drive though, Steve. Like the guy wants to drive. What can we do about that?
Well, I don't know what we can do about that. I'll just leave that one up to him. But I would make the same deal. I would even take the hearing loss. I mean, I'm good with it. Some things, as you get older, you just don't want to hear that much stuff.
Yeah, nobody has anything worthwhile to say anyway. I would just be happy to be moving around. All right, so point standings, here they are. You're now 22 up on Doug. Doug had a tough weekend. Leah's 33 back, and your dad's 115 back. So just like last year, Billy kind of coming on strong towards the tail end of the season. Justin Ashley, 146 back. The kid can leave, but to gain on everybody, I'm calling this a 3-horse race. You, Doug, Leah, and no countdown. This is what you like. Every round matters. First round this weekend, it's going to matter. Those points are going to matter. So how are you handling this run to try to win 3 championships in a row, like a Top Fuel World Championship hat trick? That is as rare as they get.
Man, honestly, the first time ever that I decide to skip a race, it comes back and kind of bites us in the bottom. But we've got a really good race car. I'm confident in every one of those guys over there and in myself that we can go out and we can just do our job and repeat. You're going to have the breaks. You're going to have some luck. And we had luck in Gainesville. I mean, we had a really good car. Everybody did their job against Leah. Doug went out early. That opened the door for the opportunity to get up there and get the points lead. So, I mean, everything has to come together. But we just go do what we've been able to do for the last few years, and it's just go out and be consistent and try to run well. I think that the points are ultimately going to take care of themselves. I have always been an advocate for just start, run what you can, and finish. And so now we have that opportunity to see. I mean, we did probably shoot ourselves in the foot with skipping Pomona, and hopefully it won't come back and bite us. But I mean, we've been able to this point fight back, battle back, and get in the lead with one less race than everybody. So I think that we just stay focused and keep our head in the game and go do the best we can.
Yeah, that's it. Like you're back in the lead now. So you've erased all of that. And even it's how many races do we have? St. Louis, the 2 Texas races, and the last race. So 4 races remaining. You've got a lead with 4 to go. Normally, those are pretty good odds for the Capco team.
Yeah, and I mean, if you really want to look at it, I think we're 20 something ahead. So it's not much different than resetting the countdown, and it's not much different than just resetting at the countdown and being 20 ahead and going. I mean, you got to do the same thing. And both of those, well, I mean, every car behind us is really good. I mean, Doug, Leah, both of those cars can run really strong. The other car in our camp, Billy, can outrun us anytime. I mean, between my old man and Leah, that's the only people that have beat us all year. So, we'll stay focused on that. Justin Ashley, the kid, is a machine on the tree. And then you have Aaron Brooks, that is like the home run hitter. So who knows what's going to happen when we go to St. Louis this weekend. I think when we looked, the forecast was in the 50s or 60s. And so, I mean, I expect Foley to go there and it's not going to be a knife fight. I mean, it's going to be an all-out brawl for low ET or no ET every round.
Quick question about Justin. I know how hard you work for your reaction times. Like that, sometimes you got to work for stuff. And you guys spent a lot of time with you in the car and making everything right to get your reaction time so you could compete with Antron. That was really the goal. And you did it and you accomplished it. And look at all the great work. When you see someone like Justin, like out of the box, kind of just killer, like what's up with that? Do you have an opinion? I think we're all marveling at his innate ability to cut down the tree, but it's also a little weird and shocking. Like, how is that happening?
No, not really. I mean, being around this long enough to really see the mechanical side of reaction times, the driver has to do their job and they have to hit the gas within these frames of the camera. And I keep up with that. That's something that I'm really attentive to is how my opponents stage, how quickly they hit the gas on the tree, because you're able to film both cars when you're making runs and know where your car's at. If I hit the gas in this frame and my car moves in this many frames, the reaction time should be this. And we spend a lot of time and effort on working on the car to get it to react quicker. And that's what you were talking about, and we've talked about it before, is the car has to react within this window. And then that way the driver can be anywhere between 40s and 70s or whatever, pretty much across the board, just depending on the racetrack and the rollout or whatever. And Aaron Brooks is really good at getting the car to react quick, to perform well. And you know, you go back and you look at a lot of the drivers that have driven for Aaron, Sean Langdon, Richie, Morgan, all of those guys have been really good levers, and they hit the gas on time and the car moves well. So I'm not taking anything away from Justin. He has a quick reacting car and he hits the gas on time all the time. So, I mean, you see him going up there, and he's simply doing his job, and Aaron Brooks is doing his job as well. And so that's where you have the combination of two things coming together where both of them are good.
I like you saying that, and I appreciate that explanation. I think a guy like Aaron Brooks doesn't get enough credit generally, because he's been out there in the wars and the battles and building cars and just doing what he's got to do to stay in business. And now he's got a good opportunity, and he's won a race as a crew chief by himself. And like, that's, I mean, again, that's awesome. He deserves the credit, and I appreciate you giving it to him. Steve, you mentioned the weather conditions this weekend, Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's going to be fast. Everybody says it's going to be fast, and I know you guys love that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll be watching. Thank you for coming on WFO Radio, sharing all kinds of good news on this edition, Steve. Like, we waited a little while for you, since the last time we spoke, but it's been worth it. You win with Garlits, some good news about Dom, baby Torrence on the way, a little Natalie going to be running around out there, all kinds of good stuff. Your dad, runners up. I know he would rather won. That's still good. That's still good. Good job, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for the time. I appreciate you and everybody for tuning in.
Absolutely. All right, Steve, be good. Have fun out there, and maybe we'll speak with you. Who knows? That's up to you.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
There we go. Steve Torrence with us here on WFO Radio. How about that? All kinds of good stuff. All kinds of good stuff with Steve Torrence and that team. Baby Torrence, Garlits, etc. All connecting. It's all happening. And you guys out there, the WFO, look at this guy, Michael Heiner, the champ. He is back-to-back champ, going for 3 in a row. It's pretty crazy. I loved your interviews at the starting line on Get the Gatornationals. Thank you, Keith. It was a lot of fun. And Steve referenced the interview with me and Garlits and him. Well, let's see. Who could this be out there on the wide open line? WFO, you're on the air. Hello.
What's up, Joe?
It's Alex Laughlin, everybody. Alex Laughlin is joining us on the phone line, the Pro Stock winner from the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals. How's it going, Alex?
It is good. Very good. It's been extremely busy since I got back from last weekend, and I was my voice was completely blown out Monday and Tuesday both from hooping and hollering so much. But I guess that's a good problem to have. I'll take it.
All right, so just so everybody understands, you're joining us via phone line and Skype because you're in the middle of a internet dead zone. So if we were to get disconnected, we're good. You don't have to like struggle for us, but let's answer some quick, vital questions. You win all the big ones, Alex. You win the big ones. What is it about the big ones that you rise to the occasion?
You know, I have no idea. Maybe it's just because I lose all of the little ones that the couple of big ones here and there just, help make up for it.
I guess. But Indy last year, you made it to the Gator National final last year, though, and you couldn't race. And that has to be annoying. In this case, you were able to win on what was kind of a tire shake fest. Take us through that final round against Aaron.
Man, going up there, I knew we were going to have very, very similar race cars. Aaron had been driving good all day as well. And I knew that we were both going to have to be perfect basically on the starting line and have perfect race cars all the way down. We swapped feet when the tree dropped, and both of us drove out about 60 foot and just went into immediate tire shake. I mean, it's hard to explain what tire shake really feels like, but I mean, your teeth are chattering. The shift light was literally swinging from door to door. I mean, the whole car is just shaking so hard. And I lifted, shifted, stomped the gas again, and the tire stuck, and drove it down to the finish line. I peeked over, and I didn't see him around, and I thought, my goodness, I think I might have just pulled this off, and spotted the wind light sitting there on the wall down past the finish line. And when it lit up, I thought, man, I finally did it. But it still hurts from last year, no doubt, because the last year Gatornationals to me was bigger and more special because it was the 50th. It was just, and I was just completely robbed from it. I didn't even have a chance to make the run. And, this year it was the 51st, and that's an odd number. But nonetheless, I'm just glad to be able to take home a Wally this year, and just super thankful for it more than anything.
Michael Heiner is out there. He says that at least he didn't shake against you this time, and congratulations on the win.
Right on. Well, I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, that is a big deal. This year, though, I mean, it's been a terrible year for some things like normalcy. We haven't been normal this year, but you've had such a great year from winning at the World Door Slammer Nationals down there in Orlando. That was a big check. Winning Lights Out, winning all these big races. You're getting ready for a very busy stint. Tell us what you're going to be doing starting off this weekend in St. Louis.
So this weekend, I've got a lot going on. I technically didn't even have a sponsor for this race. And so I started thinking, this drag racing stuff is just extremely expensive, as everyone knows. And I thought the chances of me finding somebody right now in this economy to cut a check for, $30,000+ to go race for a weekend is going to be very hard to happen. So what I started thinking is, what if I had like 300 people give me $100, right? And what could I do for them for the $100? And so I've got 300 people for this weekend that I'm going to literally put their names all over my race car. And when the race is over, I've got these cool posters that I've had printed, and I'm going to peel their name off of the car. It's going to go on the poster, and I'm going to sign it, personalize it to them. And so they're going to essentially get this poster with their name on it, where their name came off of the car. So they're essentially getting like a piece of the race car that was on national television at a live NHRA event. And so, but after that, I've got Lights Out, or not Lights Out. It's the Sweet 16 race next weekend in Valdosta, Georgia, running Radio versus the World. And so I've spent all day today loading all of the parts and tools and the car and everything to have it ready, because basically when I'm headed back from St. Louis, the other rig is going to be headed out to Valdosta. And so it's just race after race after race right now. We've got, I guess, Gainesville to St. Louis to Georgia. Then I've got Dallas, Houston, and then wherever the last race is going to be.
Right.
So it's a busy few weeks, but that's the way I like it.
I love how you're getting creative. Now, I know that you caught a little hell on the internet, but who cares, right? Like, the internet is full of, there's a lot of negative people out there on the social. Fortunately, in our WFO universe that we're talking to right now, we have kind of got a lot of positive people, generally speaking. But what a creative idea. For $100, your name is on a Pro Stock car. All right. So that alone is pretty cool. Like, I can't get my name on a Pro Stock car at all, let alone for $100. And then you're going to send them something to memorialize it forever. I don't know. I think that's a very worthwhile endeavor. And also being creative with sponsorship at a time when we need that. That's a really good endeavor.
Yeah, I was just, trying to think outside of the box as always, and think of, what could I do to give back to the people that are going to support me, and give them a keepsake that'll essentially last forever. And, I was kind of thinking, if somebody else did this, would I like it? Would I, want to be a part of it? And absolutely. I mean, I think it's something cool. And so, I guess that's why I went with it. I knew some people would give me some crap over it. There's always the haters, and, it doesn't matter which way it is, right? I've got people that have been saying, "Oh, you're just racing on daddy's money forever," and then this week or the last couple weeks, I've literally been shaking my coin cup, asking for a handout just to go to the race, and catching crap for that too. So you can't win with some of these people, and that's just the way it is.
That's it. Well, once you know that, you're in good position, that it doesn't matter what you do. Some people will be against it regardless. Like, hey guys, I've cured cancer. It's like, do you know how much money people used to make off of cancer? It's a no-win situation in some cases. I love that, your creativity. Hey, one of our listeners named Kev from the UK wants to thank you for sending memorabilia over there that they auctioned it off to get the Melbourne Raceway open. So he is sending thanks for being charitable.
Very cool. Yeah, some of my friends from over there, they come to several races a year typically, and he reached out, said that they were opening that track back up if there's any way I could help out, and so I was happy to send some stuff for them to auction up and raise a couple extra bucks.
Mama Enders saying hello out there on the web, so we've got celebrity viewers. It's kind of cool. Listen, I know you're in a tough sell situation, so before we lose you involuntarily, I just want to wish you congratulations and thank you for coming on the show. Big win, obviously elite, looking really good, rolling. The championship battle, your teammate E is right in the middle of a fight with a couple of the retirement all-stars, but you are fourth, 156 out. Going to be tough to get all the way up there, but you can definitely inject yourself into the battle one way or another.
Yeah, there's no doubt that it is doable. I'm going to have to do really good, and they're going to have to do really bad. Nonetheless, we're absolutely going to give it everything we've got to do the best. And even finishing in the top 5, something like that, man, that's something that I never thought would happen. Heck, I never thought I'd be racing pro stock anyway. So you know what? Finishing a race or being in a race in general is pretty remarkable for me.
There you go. Well, and the humility, like being a humble person when you've had a good life and you've had great success, and a lot of people in that situation, they're not as humble, and you are, and I think people like that. People appreciate it. I know I do. Alex, thank you very much for taking the time with us. Good luck this weekend at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Go get another one. Maybe we'll talk again next week.
Cool. I hope so. Thanks for having me, Joe.
All right. Later, Alex. Be good.
All right. See you, buddy.
There you go. There he goes. Alex Laughlin with us here on WFO Radio. Look at us taking calls and doing kinds of stuff and making it happen here on the Wide Open Line. Yeah, we had Steve Torrence. We had Alex Laughlin. All right, put your comments in the comment section. If you got any comments about anything that was said on the show so far, all kinds of really positive and uplifting news on this show, like good stuff. And Steve Torrence, I'm proud of that guy because, he's been through the ups and the downs, and he comes on WFO whenever we ask him and lays it out there. And this is one of the high points. Like, of all the times that Steve has come on, and now that we're doing video, face it, it's a pain, right? Now you got to wash your face and do your hair and be ready to be seen. I don't even like it, but going out of his way, and Baby Torrence is on the way, and Alex with that creative idea. That reminds me of our Patreon audience, right? Our Patreon show, who they get special shows at patreon.com/WFO radio. People want to be recognized. They want to support. There are people who are doing very well out there in the world, and they want to support the things that they like. And a couple extra bucks here or there. Alex is putting you on a Pro Stock car. I am shouting out your name and giving you the most intimate details of the behind-the-scenes stuff, all kinds of secret information for the Patreon show. And it's another way. It's crowdfunding is what it is. It's crowdfunding. The guy crowdfunded his Pro Stock car. And people on the web are going to be like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Get out of here, people. The tolerance for ignorance post-COVID is way down. Pre-COVID was like, you're going to have people. They're not going to understand. You just got to live it, let it be. Now, post-COVID, it's just the tolerance level is very low. Wanted to talk about Steve. Look at Garlits. Everybody is super happy. I wanted to ask Steve about Hogan. There had to be what was Garlits and Hogan like? Was Garlits second guessing Hoagie? You're doing it wrong, Hoagie? I wonder. And You know, you look at the Capco team. I think of Bobby Lagana. Bobby, first of all, the Yankees have now won 2 games. Sorry, Michael Heiner. Sorry about your Cleveland Indians, bud. But, you know, this is New York Yankees baseball we're talking about. In the immortal words of George Steinbrenner, there's a whole bunch of Cleveland Indians. There's only one New York Yankees. Sorry to get all partisan about the baseball, but we did just win last night in a very tough, heartbreaking game for the team that did not come out on top. But the way I think about it, you know, Bobby's happy. Bobby's happy. All right, let's see what some people have to say, and then I'll tell you how to get a WFO radio face covering. In fact, I'll do it. I was disappointed. I got shut out this morning. I went in there to see if anybody had purchased a WFO radio face covering like this to cover your mug, protect you so you can comply, right? And Corey Savoy says that I should be making a big fuss about the fact, which I don't think this is a selling point, but he does, that there is a pocket. And in the pocket, you can, if you want to do such a thing, put a filter. They sell these little filters. And then you take the filter and you insert it into the pocket and look at it like that. Boom. Now you've got triple protection on your WFO radio face covering. And Corey, this message brought to you by Corey Savoy. Go to WFOradio.com, click on WFO store, get yourself a face covering for just $10. And did you know it's got this little pocket that you can put a filter in? Did you know that? Yeah, I did that twice on purpose. Corey was like, you got to push this, man. This is a selling point. You got to get on it. And I'm like, you think? I don't know. I think people hate face coverings generally. And the only people that are buying it are like people who really want to support WFO, Corey. I think people hate them. And he's like, no. People got to wear them. You got to have it. You buy the filter. You stick the filter in. He goes, I'm getting the filters. And obviously I have the filter. That wasn't my idea. That was my ma's idea. My ma, of course, you know, she loves Amazon. She bought me the filters to stick them in the thing. You get it, right? So face covering, $10, WFO. Go to it. Also, get yourself a shirt while you're there. Use the promo code WFO20, hit Nitrofish Racing, and load up on a whole bunch of gear. Like a whole bunch of gear. WFO20, you're going to get 20% off the WFO Radio 10th anniversary t-shirt that everybody loves. And when I see it at the track, it's like the best thing. When you see someone wearing your shirt, and they're wearing your shirt, you walk up to them, and you're like, hi, you're wearing my shirt. And they're like, who are you? Who the heck are you? Get out of here. Scary. All right, who else? Obviously, Marvin Rodak. RodaksCoffeeandGrills.com. Hot sauces and spice rubs. Everything good. The guy sells outdoor kitchens down there in Fort Worth, Texas. Just amazing coffee. It's like the most incredible. International Coffee Day was the other day, and hopefully you all ordered a little Rodak's coffee. Bag of coffee, fresh to your door. And it's a great experience. And samtech.edu, the Factory Stock Showdown cars will be in action this weekend. Head over there, see them, talk to them. Ask them about the school. Ask them about classes, blockhead CNC programs, motorsport EFI tuning. Become a CNC machinist. Amazing stuff. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, totalseal.com. Brand new website. New episode of Hidden Horsepower is up and is right there on the website. And you don't have to subscribe, although I recommend you do so. Since yesterday was International Podcast Day, we've got the Factory Stock Podcast and we've got Hidden Horsepower. But if you just want to play an episode, go to the website. Click on the podcast and you can play it right from there. You don't have to subscribe to anything. And Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, frankhawley.com. The innovative nature of Alex Laughlin's sponsorship, right? Think about the innovative nature of Frank Hawley starting this drag racing school so many years ago. I think that people want to learn how to drag race from somebody who knows what they're doing. A lot of other people could have done that beforehand, but Frank Hawley was the guy. And the Dragster Adventure is another element. It's $399, okay? Is that a lot of money or is it not a lot of money? It depends on who you are. But for a full day experience of anything, you're driving a dragster, you show up with nothing, they handle everything, and you have a lifetime kind of experience, I think it's a value at twice the price. Go to frankhawley.com, find out more information. Already mentioned Nitro Fish. And if you want WFO radio stickers, but you don't want the face covering, I got you. Castello Media /WFO stickers, P.O. Box 848-353, Pembroke Pines, Florida 33084. You do all the busy work. You put on the self-addressed stamped envelope with postage, and I'll throw some WFO radio stickers in there. But the face covering is a much better deal. Just saying. Also, we're still working on the concept, for the Lagana Strong tree, where all the money will be donated to charity, thanks to Jeff who made it. And getting some ideas at joe@wforadio.com. Somebody suggested that I sell like raffle tickets at X amount, and then the winner gets it. That all sounds good. I really want to keep the sweat overhead as low as possible. And to me, just putting it up on eBay seems good. But selling 100 tickets, doing a raffle, let me know what you think. joe@wforadio.com. Definitely going to take more work. I mentioned the Patreon show. All right, let's see what everybody has. Let's see what goes on in the comment section here before we get up on out of here, before we bust out and get up on out of here. Let's see. Kev is back. Kev, this is the best drag racing podcast. Sorry, the NHRA Insider podcast. All right, first, okay. I've gotten 2 of these this week. And I got to say, I'm not angry about it at all. I think it's great. But the NHRA Insider podcast this week in particular is specifically great because I am on there, myself and Tony Pedregon. Brian Loans and I are great friends. And the idea that he has a podcast where he can unabashedly promote through NHRA that there is a NHRA related podcast is very important to WFO radio. I am unable to unabashedly promote, shameless promotion about our podcast. I have to hope that people find us, or that WFO listeners will wear the face covering and someone will ask them, what is this? And they say, oh yeah, it's a drag racing podcast. You really like it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Let me download it for you. That kind of thing. We are as grassroots as it gets. And the more podcasts there are, I was telling Don O'Neill about this, Don and Cam. I was telling Sam, we've been doing this for 10 years when podcasting was not the thing, wasn't cool. In fact, it was a negative. Podcast, what are you in your garage? It almost made you illegitimate being a podcast. And that's why, for years, it was just the show, because saying the word podcast was almost a negative. But now that's not the case anymore. Now we've been podcasting for 10 years. And yes, you're damn right, we got a podcast that's been in existence for 10 years with listeners all over the globe, diehard people, good people, positive people, and some of them crazy ones pay extra on patreon.com for a little extra content. And we do our best. But the way I look at it, I'm not in competition with any other podcast. I need every other podcast to promote the heck out of themselves. And when someone hears their promotion, they're going to find WFO. And hopefully, if they like drag racing or sports or the Yankees or football or just some random guy talking about random stuff with his random friends, making people laugh, you'll find WFO and you'll start to listen. And you'll either listen one week and say that this stinks, or you'll stick around like some people like Kev. Thank you, Kev. Thank you for sticking around. Let's see what this one says. There's going to be a collective. There is going to be a collective. The Borg. I don't even know what that means, though. $10 deal. Great deal. Yes, it is, Monica. Get out there and hawk it for me, man. That's what we need. We need an affiliate program. I'll send everybody masks, and you can sell them on your own and keep a cut for whatever you want. The multi-level marketing scam. I love it. I love it. Yeah, this is the best part of the show. After the guests, when I go off the rails, boy, I've had a crazy day. Jeff Shockley, he's the guy who made the sign. Why not do crowdfunding racing for the fans? That's an excellent idea. Yes, well, it is crowdfunding. The problem is with racing is the crowd is not NFL size. But Alex, he found his people, and he's going to be racing, and that's awesome. But if every racer did that, I don't know that we've got the people to do it. Like, we just don't have enough people to do it. Not every single week. But in certain special circumstances, yes, absolutely, crowdfunding. Depends on how motivated they are. It depends on the economy. It depends on what you're giving them, right? Like on our Patreon show, what I give the audience is the unvarnished, behind the scenes, what's up with WFO, my travel woes, my things that are going on, some stuff that's not fit for the air. It's not fit for you guys. You guys don't want that, but they want it. And so they pay a little extra, $5 a month, $10 a month. We got a guy on there paying like $50 a month because he can do it. I love it. Scott says, great job, Joe. Great show. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Scott. Jeff, live video. You need to wear pants, right, Joe? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. You would not know in this circumstance whether I'm wearing pants or not. You just don't know. And this is a great mystery wrapped in a puzzle, surrounded by an enigma. And I'm going to leave it that way. Is Joe wearing pants? It's a good question. And there's no answer. Awesome show. Well, come on. You got Steve Torrence and you got Alex Laughlin. Steve Torrence breaking all that stuff. Look at this. I missed it. Courtney Enders. Stupid me is like talking about happy hour this week, not really connected to the idea that there's a back-to-back race, because I'm not going. So it's a bit of a bummer. Like, I'm personally hurt and disappointed, but I'm going to bury it deep, deep down inside and just move past it, not think about it, and go do my own thing here in sunny South Florida this weekend while monitoring NHRA.TV. I hope to be invited to another race, but there is no guarantee considering this situation this year. And I'm definitely not going to complain in any way. I'm just going to make the most of the time here around the house. I've got a gutter that is down that I need to fix. Simple as that. What is this? Your products are going to be a collective, Joe. Don't you know, love Joe. Mailing my order today. Oh, that's so nice. I really wish I knew who that was. The Facebook user did not. But yes, I love it. I love it. Kev, I'm sharing it all over the UK and Europe. All over the UK and Europe. All over the place. Yes, all over the place. See, every one of our, like the joke I would normally make here is totally inappropriate. But I need our audience to definitely be aggressive promoters of the program, because I'm fighting all kinds of stuff, like Facebook throttling us, man, holding us back, restricted. No, they want us to spend the money. And we don't want to spend the money, but they want us to spend the money. Well, you can't have the viewers, Joe, if you don't spend the money, Joe. And no, I think we can do it with the power of the audience. And so we need you to be out there. And I'm asking you to go and knock on the doors of strangers and tell them about the podcast. Don't do that. That's kidding. If you're interested, let me know. I'm definitely interested in everything. I just don't know who's saying that. Anyway. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Had a little fun here at the tail end of the show. It's not all. That's why you can listen to the Ignition Show. This is what the Ignition Show is. Me, myself, and Giovanni in Miami talking about whatever. And I'll let you behind the scenes a little bit. For instance, on Monday, I got all excited about all the different things that were happening. The Miami Heat and the NBA Finals and obviously New York Yankees baseball. And Giovanni in Miami is like, oh, the Yankees aren't going to win, man. They're just going to lose because, Cleveland, and gave me a whole bunch of stats and all this stuff. And I got to be my positive self. And I said, no, the magic. This is where it happens in the playoffs. And boom, back-to-back wins. Yankees moving on, face the Rays, who are going to be tough. Very tough. Tampa. What's up with Tampa? When did Tampa become the center of the universe? Tampa winning the Stanley Cup. Tampa's got a shot to win the World Series. Tampa's got Tom Brady. What the heck? I've been to Tampa. It's okay. It's not Fort Lauderdale. It's just okay. Maybe I need to check it out again. Let's see. Warren says, hi, Joe. How far are you from the Ale House in Pembroke Pines? Right now, I am about a 12-minute drive from the Ale House in Pembroke Pines. Although I prefer Twin Peaks, if we're going there. The Ale House is kind of like, if we're going to go to the Ale House in Pembroke Pines. Oh, wait, you mean the one out west? Is that what you mean? I was thinking Davie. I'm sorry. Still 12 minutes. And is there a Twin Peaks out there? I think there is. So there you go. Now you know, Warren. Let's see. Tampa. Tampa's got Dale Renner. Dale, sorry I missed you out there, bud. I wanted to come by the Hot Rod Junction. No dice. No dice. It didn't work. It's Daryl Williams. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate it. Okay. I owe Facebook. They've got my name blocked. He's in Facebook jail. All right. Big thanks to our sponsors. Everybody who makes the show possible. Get yourself some gear at nitrofishracing.com. Follow me. WFO Joe. Am I the most interesting follow? Yes, definitely. Follow me. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and more, wherever you get your podcasts. Write us a review. YouTube, subscribe, click the bell. You can watch everything you're seeing here on YouTube, except it won't be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. And, of course, get your T-shirt. There it is. And this concludes another week of WFO Radio. Everything from earlier in the week, like Ron Capps yesterday and Matt Smith yesterday. It's all in the archive. Download it. Watch it. Do it. Live it. Know it. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on WFO.